I want to apologize if parts of my speech in this video are not well enunciated. I recorded this prior to being pushed towards finally entering into a vow of silence. For that reason, I rationalize being able to share it, but I don't feel comfortable re-recording the audio in places to make it easier to understand. I do have text on the screen that should help. I almost definitely will. I'm gonna do it. There's no lack of clarity telling me what will be possible, but only if I take this step. I have a date in mind, additional information, things that I intend, but I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you that this vow will be for a duration of 6 months. I want to make a statement so that you understand the change in content. The vow is not that I can't assist you in summoning Dantalion. It is just that I won't be able to speak on his movements in my life, what he says, what he does, how he manifests to me. The sorts of experiences I shared in this video, the homeless man tapes, etc., I would have to keep those to myself. It's possible it may go on for... I was listening to a playlist on 9/18, September 18, 2022. So many of my newer adventures have been born on YouTube. In spite of the technical differences between my latest experience and a similar event which transpired with Asmodeus in the month of August, which was last month, these two demonic outpourings are more related than they are different. Not necessarily in what was done, how it came to pass, but there are strong paralleling themes and the same intention. That's why I say that they have technical differences. Tech, because that's the extent of the difference, which tech was used, for example, and exactly how it was used to achieve the same ultimate end. Other than the materials themselves, these spiritual connections have been much of the same elements, and both are examples of demons actively manipulating technology and circumstances. More specifically, it is an example of demons who are manipulating music in order to reach me, and to ensure that there is no confusion about which of them is involved. We can have a space with our things around us, which he can manipulate. Songs are non-material things, they still count. And these are resources we use to build a place where we can be together so that he can be seen. Technology is a big one. It can be destroyed by him, changed, intercepted, or used to display sentience from an entity or to convey messages when desired. It's not just my demon, though this is generally known of them. I was already surrounded by my music. I was already listening to a playlist on YouTube, and I have songs which I listen to and which are therefore within reach. Songs about him, songs that I've never heard of before, of the auto-generated playlists. Songs that can be used to say things that must be said. It's easy pickings. In an effort to communicate, they're able to manipulate the tech.
Also,
It came to be such that, during this listen-through, I was only able to make it partially through that familiar Darling anthem, the Satanic Winnie the Pooh full version. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It had been going for a while. I listened to a good chunk of it, longer than any of the other tracks were allowed to play. But I didn't quite get through even the Satanic Winnie the Pooh. Not by choice, though, once the fun began. The song changed itself abruptly to a different song, as in it picked the next song on the list. And then it kept changing. It jumped from song to song, and I heard only short intros, and that gave me a feel for what was happening before my phone moved on. The message or messages, they being Asmodeus and Dantalion. So the messages that Asmodeus and Dantalion sought to put to me were likewise similar. Asmodeus had his presence announced by name. It forced its way out of my Bluetooth earphones, operatic, in what was a sporadic burst of song lyric isolated. The Bluetooth earphones disconnected to my laptop, which continued to play music from a separate room, though I had muted it so it wasn't making any noise. The reason the laptop was muted adds to another reason why the totality of this reeks of purpose and provenance. The laptop should have been incapacitated. It shouldn't have been able to play music whatsoever, because I had closed it in a hurry to head out. This is my go-to method for silencing YouTube. I do not have YouTube Premium, and shutting the machine will make the voices stop on any normal night, but this was not a normal night. When I found that the songs were persisting and protesting loudly by playing without interruption, as if there had been no change, as if I hadn't just closed the screen, I was preoccupied. I was scrambling not to miss deadlines, needing to exit my apartment very soon so as to fulfill my own obligations. I already closed the laptop once, so I opened the screen back up, smashed that mute button, reshut it, shut it up, and voila. This was more time efficient than signing into my account to do, basically anything else. So that's how I handled it. Follow me into the living room, where next I have power on my Bluetooth earphones, but instead of pairing with the phone, they kept reaching out and searching my computer. So the phone and computer wrestle, and the computer is predominantly the victor, seated atop a higher throne, the paired champion. But while the Bluetooth and the computer may have paired, the connection is very poor. The laptop is far away, nothing is being played now through my earphones. There's no music for the computer, nor am I able to hear the GPS directions from my pocketed phone because the earphones are connected to the PC instead. On my way out of the apartment, I walked into a spot before the door where I suppose the connection improved because it declared connected, and then Asmodeus disconnected. It was an isolated fragment of lyric from the song that came wearing masks. It only ever sang the one word, one name, Asmodeus, and it picked that song by itself. It plugged it into the right second, the very right second, and created all of its own opportunities. I'm just here to be impressed and astounded. Freak acts of fancy have interacted with one another, coming together, and it came to be that I walked into a pocket of momentarily strengthened connectivity, a bubble of sound. I caught that single line. The system goes, connected. And then, like, that operatic voice, Asmodeus, and then the system goes, disconnected. One word. One word. And I happened, oh gosh. 9/18/2022. September 18, 2022. I had a similar event with Dantalion. Not quite the same, but there are strong themes. Asmodeus, Avage or Dantalion on call. If it's different, it is more like than otherwise. But if it is different, it sounds like Dantalion saying, call me. And Asmodeus wants me to know that he's in the space, which to me is another call me. Also, we must consider that there might not be an operatic song belting out Dantalion to equal Asmodeus from They Came Wearing Masks. But there was a song up for grabs which said Avage or Dantalion on call, and it was grabbed. So I'm saying my phone was face down on a flat counter, playing one song in a playlist, the Satanic Winnie the Pooh song. And there was nothing wrong because it played and played into that song when it began. So in both experiences, Dantalion and Asmodeus weaponized music to embody either their voice or their declaration of presence. And I'm thinking of those interchangeably, like he's here. With the inherent majesty and magic that is present within music, I can think of no better tongue. There was a willingness, perhaps even an urge there to get through, but a need sometimes for a medium through which the words can be spoken so that those words can be received. Both were made real through technological oddities. For Asmodeus' name to be forced through my earphones, that meant my laptop had to be enlisted too. Co-conspiring technology. For Dantalion's, it was just the phone. And YouTube, the internet, et al. For both. For Dantalion's, however, be advised that when I say that it was just the phone, it is a different phone than the one I've been using this past year. I had many a glitch witch adventure, but that phone is a goner. That phone is a goner. After I finished painting Asmodeus' candles, I yelled at it for not allowing me to take pictures of my artwork. For that, or for unrelated but simultaneous reasons, the phone finally became useless. The screen got brighter and brighter, the text characters kept getting smaller until I almost couldn't read them, and now it just stopped working altogether. It's fucked. So, some of you saw those final selfies that I took. The pictures were glitching differently. Towards the end, and this is hard to believe, but I did make 2 videos showing it happening. Okay, so I want to show you what happens. It's been like Glitch City over here. So these are, like, I just took pictures. I just took these. And they show up in my gallery, okay, like they show up as pictures. But look what happens when I click one of them. Focus. Focus. Did you see that? Did you see that happen? It's, oh my gosh, it's over. It's me. Look at it's me. Pictures of me were corrupting, but the point of corruption in the image was specifically over my body. Lastly, there was a bar through my hair, and that bar was glowing like an unnatural red, but you could still see my real hair underneath it. The videos where I am, the point of the corruption in the picture files, is posted to YouTube. I have pictures of the red bar, but it's not a video. Those were separate. Like, these were, like, towards the end of the phone's life, but the red bar was, like, those are the last pictures before the phone just, it's dead. It's gone. So the phone's destroyed. This is a different phone experiencing its own paranormal activity. It interrupted my listening experience for seemingly no reason, because the phone was sitting face down on a tabletop. It wasn't wet, the screen was not being touched by droplets or dust or bugs, for it was so boldly lying flat down on the countertop with its screen against a flat surface. And it finished, like, 11:15 a.m., 9/18/2022. I know this from the screenshot that I took when I picked it up. It kept skipping through song after song after song, playing only short bits of their beginnings before jumping to the next. I did not pick it up, I did not interfere, I watched hopeful, which automatically makes you vulnerable. I dreaded the idea that it would land on something that I didn't understand. But it landed on the call. It's the call by Dantalion. The band's just called Dantalion. And the whole song is just his N. Like, that's the lyrics are just like his mantra. So it landed on the call by Dantalion. After skipping through I don't know how many songs, at least 5 or more. It didn't skip over Dantalion, the band. I waited and waited and it didn't skip. It stopped there and I was so happy. So I picked it up and I took a screenshot, so that's how I have the information on the time. So I took that screenshot at 11:15 a.m. 9:18:22. So this started happening like maybe like, I don't know, 11:14, or in like a minute or 2 minutes before I took the screenshot, because the screenshot was when it had landed on a song and stayed. When it stopped at just the right moment to convince me that this had been profound. This very much reminds me of what happened with Asmodeus, even if it's different. I think Dantalion and Asmodeus are working together.